two completely different worldviews, and one worldview says that it's okay to get violent to try and get what you want. It's pretty childish.
In times of peril, young people have stepped up and saved this country, abroad and at home.
America must come first. Its people must be our top priority.
Wow, I am so happy to be here with all of you. So, you know, I've been going around, and I'm sure that most of you can feel the momentum that the conservative movement is starting to garner. Can you feel it? Especially with young people, because, you know, we've got this woke left, and they're extremely loud and extremely noisy, but when you strip away these ideas of Republican and Democrat, these labels we put on certain ideologies, and you offer, you know, we want a limited government, we want you to rule your own life, it is amazing how many people agree with conservative doctrine. But also, especially during the year of 2020, I think that the main reason we're gaining so much support is because being a Republican is more fun. I mean, you know, we don't have to go and burn a city down to feel like we're helping people. We actually are able to gather together in person. I mean, I cannot believe that there are some governors telling us that we can't get together for Thanksgiving or we can't get together for Christmas. That is tyranny, and it needs to be fought. But, you know, I'm looking out of this crowd. I have had so much fun with all of you students because, like I said, it's more fun. But specifically, I have met a great number of you here who are from my home state of North Carolina. And now, all of you who put me here from North Carolina, you guys supported me, you guys fought for me, you volunteered, you did so much for me. And I'll tell you, to all of those students, I vow to you that I will not let you down. I will be your weapon in Washington, D.C., someone who will not back down. And you know, I had a lot of people asking me, well, when you get to Washington, I mean, being so young, do you think they're gonna make you bend? They're gonna push you a certain way, make you more liberal, make you less conservative? I would just look at them and say, well, I don't think they're going to bend, because first of all, we need some Republicans with some backbone, and my backbone is reinforced with titanium, so we're ready to fight. But you know, the main reason that it's more fun to be a Republican, because I mean, we can go to bed tonight knowing that we are actively helping to create a better society for our friends, for our neighbors, for people who don't look like us, don't believe like us. We want all of them to have freedom. And being a Republican is more fun because it is the moral, the right, and the courageous thing to be. And so, you know, I had this cool speech written. I was going to pop a wheelie and be really fun. It was going to be a lot of fun talking about. You want one more? We can do one more. There we go. But talking about being a Republican, I was working on this speech last night, and I got to this point, and I was saying, you know, being a Republican is the moral, the right, and the just thing to do. And I was thinking to myself, you know, in my heart of hearts, I know that there is something that I need to do. I know that there is something that is the right thing to do. But it's not a good move for my career in Washington. It's not a good move for me personally. Well, then I started thinking to myself, I said, wow, that is the problem. Going to Washington is not a career. It is a mission that you are called to. And I see a lot of great North Carolina supporters right here. And just as I said, I vow to you that I will go to Washington to fight for you, to do the right thing, I realize that it is incumbent upon me to do what is right. And so I'm going to alter my speech quite a bit, and I know my comms team and all my advisors are probably freaking out right now. But my friends, I've been studying our Constitution, and when you look at it, it says that state legislators are the only body that can change election law within their own states. But when you look at what's happened in a lot of these liberal swing states that have liberal governors and liberal secretaries of state, you can see that they have broken the law and gone against our Constitution with this election. And so, because of that, on January 6th, as the people of Western North Carolina sent me to Washington to do a job, I will be contesting the election. And USA! And not only that, I have a message, and I don't know exactly which camera's doing it, but I'm going to look straight into that camera. I have a message for all other Republicans across the country. If you are not on the record calling for fair, free, and just elections now and in the future, I will come to your district and I will fund a primary opponent against you. For too long, for way too long, the Republican Party has just been the party of no that has always conceded things. They've let God out of our schools. They have let socialism creep into our country. I'm telling you, when I look out into this crowd, I see the new Republican Party. And my friends, just as I said that I vow to the people of North Carolina that I will go fight for them, I am very confident that I can vow to the entire country that this next generation that you represent of conservatives that are rising up will not let this country down. Ladies and gentlemen, the fight for America is only just beginning, and I honestly feel bad for the enemies of liberty and justice because they have no idea what they just started. And so, let me see by a show of hands, how many of you are in your 20s? Yeah, all right, that's awesome, that's awesome. So I'm sure most of us in here are Gen Z. I'm the first year of it, and we're Gen free. But guys, I want to tell you a very special message. I'm in my 20s. I'm 25 years old. At 24 years old, and because we live in the greatest country in the world, I decided that I wanted to run for Congress because I don't want to raise children in a country that is so divided and that is becoming so corrupt. But my friends, when I look out this crowd, all of you that just raised your hand in your 20s, there is nothing different besides you and me. I just might be able to roll down a hill a little faster. But there's nothing different between you and me. We are all patriots who love this country. And if you are in your 20s, man, I encourage you. And in fact, I will help you. Run for office. Please. We need this on all levels of our government. We need our state legislatures, our city councils. We need you in Congress because let me tell you, it is so hard. And I saw my dear friend Lauren Boebert. She's a freshman in our class as well. But I'm sure she would agree. It is so hard to get to know the names of everyone in Congress because right now they're all wearing masks. They're all about 55 years old. They're all kind of balding. And they all look the exact same. But guys, it's time we stop sending cookie-cutter politicians to Washington. And when I look out and see all of you, I see fighters. So I say, let's send some more fighters to Washington, D.C. Yeah. Because guys, you know, we live in the greatest country in the world, and I know every single one of you know that. And our founding fathers were absolute geniuses. I believe they were inspired by God. And my friends, when they put the Constitution together, when they put our Bill of Rights together, you know, they went back and they got their values from ancient Jerusalem with Judeo-Christian values. They sought that every person should have one vote. One vote, Democrats, one. They looked to ancient Athens to see where democracy came from, to see that every person should have a voice and have a vote. They looked to ancient Rome to understand that Our incredible country, it needs law and order. It needs incredible infrastructure, and that's what we need to bring to our country. But also, when they were looking back at these ancient civilizations, specifically Rome and Greece, when they looked into these civilizations, they realized that these civilizations created incredible town squares where orators could come and they could speak freely about big, dangerous topics to talk about. And then a very discerning crowd would sit there and make decisions about what they should do in their country, what was the right political move. And our founding fathers saw that and they said, we shouldn't just have one town square, we should give you a town square everywhere. And we should give everyone freedom of speech. And that's what our First Amendment is. But my friends, all of our rights are currently under threat of being taken away from us. You see that the ATF right now is attacking our right to be able to have pistol braces on our carbines. You can see right now that the woke left is trying to limit us from having free speech. My friends, let me tell you, if we lose the Second or the First Amendment, all of our other rights will erode and be gone. And so I'm telling you right now, just what I think the left is doing, and this is because they want power. They're telling people, you know what, let's create a society where you are free from being offended. And they're using that to get these people who pull on their heartstrings, who wear their hearts on their sleeves, saying, yeah, I don't want to offend everybody, and you shouldn't want to offend other people too. If you go around purposely trying to offend somebody, that doesn't make you brave, it just makes you a jerk. But also Ben Shapiro is absolutely right when he says that facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah. And so when we start thinking of what's going on, and we see, you see PragerU and Morgan Zegers, they're defending capitalism and free speech, and I think it's an incredible job. But just because within a capitalist society there are winners and there are losers, and it makes some people on the left feel bad that there are losers, it doesn't mean that they should be allowed to silence PragerU, Morgan Zegers, or any other patriots. But you see big left, Google, Facebook, all these tech companies, they are trying to limit what we can say on the new town square. Because trust me, we do no longer have a central town square. We have a new town square on social media. And I can see a lot of your faces. I recognize a lot of you. You guys are utilizing that to be able to fight for your freedoms. And my friends, right now is the absolute time for us to rise up and fight, because they are trying to silence us. They are trying to take away our rights, and they want us to go like sheep to the slaughter. But yeah, it's not going to happen. But man, hey, let me just take a look. Yeah, no, I don't see any sheep. I just see a pack of lions. This right here is a pride. And my friends, we are going to defend our nation with pride. This new generation of conservatives is going to redefine what it means to be a Republican. We are going to be the party that is known to fight. And right now, they are trying to take away, let me tell you, the number one policy position of Democrats all across the board in state government and in national government is elections. They are trying to change the law so that they can win elections from now and into the future. And we will not let that happen. So guys, when you go back to your districts, when you go home, please get on the phone, call your congressman. I know it sounds annoying, but honestly, it's very unlikely that they'll answer, because most congressmen don't come out and want to be around the people. They want to have their bodyguards, be in their armored cars. But I've got a lot of my volunteers right here. You guys know that I love getting out and taking pictures with all of you and getting to meet you, shake your hand. So right after this, I will be out in the lobby. I think it's by, I'll be somewhere, and I want to take a picture with every single person here. I'll stay as long as it takes. But that's because that's how we need our new system of government to be. A government where it's run by the people, not just some elite few in Washington, D.C. who they think that they know better. When I was just up in D.C. for orientation, and I call these guys careers. They're the people that have been there like 20, 30 years, which is ridiculous. Longer than most of us have been alive. Insane. This career, when I was going back home, he put his arm around me. He said, oh, hey, man, so you headed back to hang out with all those rednecks back in your district? And I looked at him and I was like, man, I am one of those rednecks. And so everybody, I'm telling you, I'm encouraging you. Please get on the phone, call your congressman, and feel free, you can lightly threaten them and say, say, you know what? If you don't start supporting election integrity, I'm coming after you. Madison Cawthorn's coming after you. Everybody's coming after you. And I'm not saying that these Republicans have to go and just jump straight on the Trump train. I don't want to tell them what they have to do. But I can tell you, I know we're all on the Trump train. But they just need to support election integrity. We need a new system where we don't have 50 little elections going on in every single state. It needs to be nationalized where we can handle it perfectly and make sure that they will not steal another election from us. And so please, call your congressman, encourage them to do that. And then my voter ID, amen. Great call. And so guys, I just want to leave you with one final note. And as I'm sitting here, amen, as I'm sitting here with all of you, you know, I want to tell you about, and I know we've said a lot of funny stuff. We've done the wheelies. It's been fun. But I want to tell you, you know, I think it will most likely hurt my career in a lot of ways because I'm going to push for election integrity and go attack a lot of these Republicans who are soft and weak and don't actually fight. Sold out, amen. And get rid of the cowards. That should be a hashtag. And it's going to hurt my career to do that. There's no doubt about that. But my friends, thank you. Yeah, thanks. But my friends, I'm telling you, nobody remembers the people that chose not to sign the Declaration of Independence. And I'm telling you, I believe that right now we are in an environment that is extremely similar to 1776. You got Governor Cuomo, Governor Gavin Newsom. You've got, and these guys are participating in tyranny, and it's terrible. And so although it might be the polite thing to do, the politically correct thing to do is to sit on the sidelines and not go out, hey, Maddie, is not go out and tell everybody what they can, to tell them that they need to vote for election integrity. Remember this. We were not created with a spirit of fear. And just as the Bible says in Esther, and you don't have to be a Christian to understand this. I think this is a tenet that applies to everybody. I believe that all of us in this room were born for such a time as this. Now, you know, I used to go around, and I was homeschooled growing up, and so and so obviously, you know, I could kind of define what I wanted to do in history class. It was great. So I was always like, Mom, tell me battle history. I want to learn warfare. I want to know what the Romans did. What did Alexander the Great do? What happened in World War II? All these cool things as a little boy would want to know. And I always asked God, I said, God, you gave me this spirit when I want to go be on a battlefield, where I want to go defend the rights and liberties of everyone around me. But you know what? You look back, and we are in the greatest period of peace and prosperity the world has ever known after World War II. And I would always ask God, why did you give me this spirit? Why did you give me this desire to go and fight? And as I look into all of your eyes, I see people who are hungry and who are ready to fight. And my friends, I will tell you, I believe the reason that God put all of us in this same generation is because we were born for such a time as this, and it's time for us to rise up and fight. Yeah. So my friends, remember, you might lose a certain number of friends. Does anybody know who Will Witt is? Yeah. Love that guy, yeah. So I was having dinner with him last night, and he was talking about how people come up to him and say, yeah, you know what, they'll lose friends if they come out as Republicans and conservatives. We're not Republicans, we're conservatives. They come out and you know, they'll lose friends, they'll get canceled, all of these things. Those are not friends you want to have. And let me tell you, if you start getting attacked, if you start getting canceled, man, come hang out with me, because I'll be your friend. Because right now, it is a time to stand up to fight. It is a time to fight for our country. Nobody else is going to do it. Remember, when the establishment tells you in 2022, 2024, when you're running for Congress or whatever positions you're running for, and I am supporting you, when the establishment tells you you need to wait, this is the last thing I'm going to leave you with. You need to wait in line. You need to wait your turn. Literally do this. Raise your arms, look around, and say, who the hell are we in line behind? Because whoever we're in line behind is not doing a good job. And I want to inherit a country I am proud of, not one that is burned to the ground. Yep. So, my friends, let's all go out into the world after SAS. And thank you, Charlie Kirk, for this great event. Let's all go out into the world. And let's aspire to create a country that is so great And that is so welcoming to everyone with open arms, no matter what your religion is. I don't care what your race is. As long as you love freedom and liberty, you are welcome in this party. And go out and let's make it the popular thing to do, that we're not defined as Republicans, we're not defined as Democrats, but my friends, we are defined as Americans.